Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm David.
Welcome to The Average Vegans, a podcast to help you live an attainable vegan lifestyle. We're not the ripped influencer vegans you hear about in other podcasts. We're just some ordinary people living in the South, eating plants and loving animals.
And on today's episode, we're discussing Farm of the Free Animal Sanctuary.
That was adorable.
That is really
Okay.
Out of respect, I don't want to mess with their name. Out of respect, but a
I
little
know, I
free,
know.
little wiggle in the tongue there for the free.
I think that might be my favorite one so far. That was pretty cute.
So,
Yes, we are talking about Farm of the Free Animal Sanctuary here in good old Georgia. We recently went to this amazing animal sanctuary that we're going to talk about today. And so we wanted to tell you about our experience, tell you about the sanctuary, and it's going to hopefully start a series where we go to different animal sanctuaries. It is about to be winter, so I don't know how much of that is going to happen, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's a slow process. But yes, we're going to talk about Farm of the Free Animal Sanctuary. David has been there many times.
I've been there. I've volunteered a few times. This was my third time.
They knew you by sight, so
yeah,
which is pretty cool.
I mean, how can you not recognize me, man? It's just
oh my goodness, so conceited.
I look like such an average white guy. How do you bald, beard, tattoo? I had a nose ring now, so I guess that's something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little something. Tattoos definitely make him stand out. I do have to tell you guys, since we're talking about what David looks like, every time I am in public with this man, we are stopped because of his tattoos.
Yeah.
And he just started getting them a few years ago. It's not like he was the rest of us who got like really crappy ones when we were teenagers or in our early 20s. He waited till he was intelligent and had money.
I don't know about
and now he has nice ones.
I've gotten video before. That was weird. I was like, hey, man, ask me questions about it. And they pulled their phone like, do you mind? I was like, that's cool. I have my arm out. And they just walked around like, are you filming this? It's like, yeah, is that okay? I'm like,
I guess.
You're doing it. I mean.
Every time we're out in public. Yep.
So,
anyway, we're not talking about you, David. Stop stealing the limelight.
I'll leave. I'll leave that out.
All right, let's talk about this amazing animal sanctuary. It's located in Good Hope, Georgia, which is like literally the middle of nowhere. It's about 60 miles east of Atlanta, at least that's what they say on their website, and they are located on 10 acres. So that's pretty amazing. I can't wait to see as this sanctuary grows because it is a fairly new location, right, David? There's no information on their website about when they actually started the sanctuary, but I think you know a little bit.
Yeah, it's been open for a few years. Like I know Carmen and Greg when they went vegan to 2013.
Yeah.
And that was not even 10 years ago. So it's it would definitely been within this time frame.
Okay, perfect. Their mission is to create a space where every being feels safe to be exactly who they are. Oh gosh.
You love that? That should be everybody's mission, to be honest with you.
It really should be. It's so beautiful. I wish that was like, America's mission. It's a beautiful, beautiful statement. And it feels that way when you're there. They are truly some of the most welcoming people. I have a bit of anxiety being in public, even more so since COVID. And I was like, oh, I might have to like interact with people. But the founders of Farm of the Free were incredibly kind to me from the second I got there. So if you are near this area and you decide to volunteer, we will tell you all about that later, but I definitely recommend because you will feel welcomed the second you walk in the gate. Almost said door. It's not a door, it's a gate.
They have doors there. I mean, ooh, so is a gate a door?
I mean, yeah, it's an outdoor door.
Isn't that
They're all outdoor. They're all outdoor doors. I hate you.
Okay, I want to email us and get us to know and let us know. Do you think a gate is a door?
Yes, a gate is a door, but it's also like not a door.
Are there? We can also derail this entire thing, get into the TikTok thing about whether or not there are more
Wheels
wheels or
and
doors in the
yes.
world. Yeah,
And
let's don't do that though.
there was a second one they asked, and I don't remember what it is now. And I don't want to talk about it
I don't
because
know.
it's going to
I'm
freak me out.
derailing
Okay.
it. Our brains
All
out
right.
today.
Back to Farm of the Free because,
Yes.
oh, God, those questions really wig me out when I start thinking about it. All right. So we talked about their mission, but their vision is while striving to create a radical haven of acceptance, which, oh, I had to put that in here because it's so pretty. They want to offer self-care classes such as guided meditations, yoga, cooking classes, stuff like that, to help emphasize their vegan lifestyle. We are going to talk a little bit more about the founders in a minute, but they definitely emphasize that vegan lifestyle and unconditional self-love and personal growth. They really are a very welcoming, loving community. Not just with the animals, but with the people that are there. They're so thankful for every volunteer.
Oh,
Like you
absolutely.
feel, yeah, like don't you? I just feels like such a thankful place. They're not just using you for your help.
Right.
They're really just like so honored to have you there.
Yeah, it's very.
It's really
And
nice.
they're also very understanding of limitations or interests and stuff like that. If you're just there to kind of like help a bit and vibe out, it's cool. If you're there to roll your sleeves up, and it's they let them enjoy that as well.
Yes, and there were people there when we volunteered that had children. So of course they catered to what they were able to do so that the chores they gave them were very much, kid focused. Some of those kids surprised us. We had a kid help us that was literally better than some adults that I've known in my life. He
Well,
was pretty amazing.
one of
Like
them.
we asked him for his opinion and he really like got into it.
We listened to him too. We didn't like ignore him because he was a kid. We're like, yeah, what's up? Okay, I try not to dismiss what kids say. Like, they're people too. They're allowed to have an opinion.
And he had solid suggestions that because I hadn't even thought about some of the things he mentioned. I was like, this is why you talk to children.
Yeah.
He was pretty amazing. So they do allow you to bring your kids, which is a little added
real quick,
bonus.
what was really funny is that there was actually I think it was brothers or not. I'm not sure, but one of them, like the mom was like over where the cows were, and picking up animal poo was part of it. Part of taking care of animals is picking up waste.
Yeah,
if you have a dog and a cat,
definitely.
you know that, right? And like the mom, I'm assuming, was like, "Hey, whatever," and this kid looks up and is like, "We're picking up. We have to pick up the cow, whatever. Do you want to help?" And the kid's like, "No, I don't want to do that."
He's like,
He literally goes like, "No, I don't want to do that." And he looked at me and I was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't do it either."
that is not what I came here for, guys. I'm
Like-
gonna roll up my sleeves and help the men
Like, we're-
decide some stuff.
We're digging holes. We're good. Y'all can pick up cow dung.
Oh, he was so cute.
That was cute.
Oh my goodness. Definitely one of Farm of the Free's focuses is educating and drawing awareness to the slaughter and exploitation of farm animals. The animals on their farm are, definitely farm animals. We are going to talk a little bit about the animals in just a bit. We had experiences with almost all of them. I didn't really get to talk to the chickens too much, which was kind of a bummer.
Right.
And I didn't get to talk to the cows, but everybody else, one-on-one.
Yeah,
We had
cows
some
were out
good
doing their own
times.
thing. They were out way in the field doing their
They
own.
were so far. They were like finding shade because it was a little warm for, October in Georgia. Let's talk about the founders.
Okay.
You
Yes.
talk.
So as I said earlier, Greg and Carmen Pope went vegan in 2013, and they started the nonprofit, and as well as a sanctuary. So they're incredibly kind, very fun people. I've volunteered. This is my third time volunteering with them. I've seen them out and about. I've seen them years ago, like the second, maybe third Veg Fest. I did a talk
Ooh.
about like going vegan for the first time, things to be aware of dietary wise. And Greg is I don't know if Carmen was 'cause she hadn't brought it up, but Greg mentioned that he was at that. That had been right when they went vegan, actually. Yes,
Yeah, and
it
around
was.
that time.
'Cause I think he's the one that asked me the question about tummy troubles.
Oh.
So we talk about how making sure you got to wash your beans and like especially high
Yeah.
fiber and stuff like that. So yeah, I think he's actually that question. But sorry, Greg, that wasn't you. I apologize. But I think you were the one. Like I'm replaying it in my head now that we're getting into it. But
Oh,
somebody did. I think it was
God.
him. Not dude. Look, just somebody looked a lot like you then. But so yeah, I mean, I've never had a negative experience with them. Always super nice and yeah, very very open, very informed. It's great informative because like I've never even when we volunteered, it was they kind of know what needs to get done,
Mm-hmm.
but in a trusting way. Like when I've only this is like the first time I've volunteered for like kill shelters like pet adoption stuff before.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And those they tend to be like you're dumb and don't know what to do, so we're gonna give you the most like you're gonna walk dogs for 4 hours. That's what you're doing,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
And they don't really talk. They don't really think down about their volunteers. It seems
Mm-hmm.
they're very much like you're here, you want to help. We have stuff. You're an able-bodied, intelligent person.
Right.
Do this thing. If you have questions, let me know. Which I like. It's never they never
Yeah.
just never like we're gonna do the difficult stuff. You're just gonna like pick up pine cones. It's not like that. So which I enjoy. Even with the kids, it was like cleaning out stalls. We dug holes. We picked things up. We moved stuff around. So everyone's treated with respect regardless of your identity or your age, which was nice.
That is a good point that I hadn't thought about, how they did just say, hey, this is kind of what we want done. You guys can figure out whatever way you want to do it. We know you're capable. There's where tools are. Go have at it.
Right.
Which was pretty cool, instead of like they basically don't micromanage. They're just like
Yeah.
you can figure
Yeah,
it
because
out.
Carmen was like you see that up there? There she goes. There's shovels in there. You go to your right, get some shovels. I'm like, all right, bet.
Dig a little bit of a hole.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and kind of just let you
Done.
do like 'cause, I think we'll probably talk about the volunteer, but we actually did, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, it was even like this is what we need. You're an intelligent person. Do that thing,
Yep.
which I love. I hate people micromanaging me every step.
Yeah.
Like this is what we need. This is what the problem is. This is the end result that I want. Use your brain, and like we did, it worked out really great. But yeah, like
It was
they
a
have,
lot of fun.
it was great, and like they have donkeys, chickens, goats, sheep, cows. We got to pet the donkeys.
We did.
You were
We
super
did.
excited about that.
We have some videos that are going to go up on our social media, but the donkeys literally are so Eeyore. It's just like, wow, they really captured a donkey personality.
I sang
They
the
made that
Eeyore song.
character.
I sang the Eeyore song to him.
They're so cute.
I'm not gonna sing it
Oh my
right now.
gosh, they were precious. We saw the chickens from afar, didn't really get to hang out with them, and then we saw the cows from afar as well. But the goats and the sheep, we definitely did some stuff with them, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Um, Tours. So they have private tours by appointment only. They're about 2 hours. You get to meet all the animal residents. And they have the disclaimer, which I think is amazing for their tours. They also send it to you when you decide to volunteer. Um, if the animals or residents, as they call them, which I love, don't want to hang out with you, you don't chase them. Like, don't go after them. They get to decide. They tell you if they want to be petted on or loved on. You don't get to like just go run after them. Be like,
Right.
love me, chicken. No, you have to like respect what the animal wants. And I think that's pretty amazing. They also don't allow you to feed the animals because they're on really strict diets. And I think that's pretty great too, because if your family comes to a sanctuary and maybe you're new at being vegan, your experiences with animals are not vegan and cruelty free experiences. So
Right.
you're imagining where you're at like a circus and you feed animals and just constantly feed them all freaking day, those poor little things. But that's not what a sanctuary is. So there's no feeding of the animals. So I feel like that's something, if your kids are new to this kind of environment, let them know that they're not going to like get a handful of food and be able to
Right.
like go up to an animal and feed them, because that may be what their perception is if things are, new to them.
It's
So
not a petting zoo.
yeah, I kept thinking like, wow, I wonder if those are new vegan kids, they're gonna like picture a completely different experience and then what they actually have. So
yeah, it's like each enclosure, each area for each animal type is kind of treated like their house. Like you
yes.
wouldn't go to someone's house and just like start like touching them, right, and messing with their stuff and just like feeding them food and being an ass about it. It's kind of what it's like. It's like when you go, because last time I was there, I actually went to the chicken enclosures. You actually have to clean your feet off and stuff when you go in there because of bacteria.
Right.
But it's like you don't like oh chickens. You don't run over to them and start messing with them. You're like, okay, how are you doing today? You just kind of give them space, But it's like it's their house. It's their living area.
And they have some cool houses, which we'll talk a little bit about as well. They do have public events, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, but they have an upcoming Welcome Center grand opening. They just completed their new Welcome Center. The grand opening will be November 12th. There's a guest speaker, food, silent auction, all that fun stuff. So again, if you're in the area or anywhere in Georgia and you want to venture there, because it was a very long drive for me, but very worth it. So it was like an hour and 45-minute drive round trip for me, but it was worth it. And we will give you the information for volunteering or scheduling a private tour. It'll be in the show notes so that you can contact the Farm of the Free to set that up. They have a gift shop, but they also have an online shop, which we will also talk about because man, do they have some good stuff in there.
Dude, their hats are really good, by the way.
Oh, I need some stuff.
I have one of their hats. It's super good.
Yes,
really
you look cute in it too. Oh. Look cute, titty. All right, let's talk about volunteering. They have monthly volunteer days where anyone can join to help out on the farm. The next one is November 19th from 11 to 3. So again, if you're in the area, please go help them. You have to sign a waiver the first time you get there, obviously. And most of the time when it's volunteer days, there's a potluck of food afterwards, which there was when we were there. But we didn't stay because we had other things to do. But let's talk about hanging out with the animals. Oh, I'm telling you guys, it was so much fun. I was so excited. And I was worried it's going to be a little chilly, but it actually turned out to be pretty warm, which was nice. Mm-hmm. We were first supposed to work with the sheep, but these two kids were there and they were going to be working with the goats. And suddenly people got concerned because one of the goats has the horns. Mm-hmm. And they were like, sometimes they don't like little kids and he might ram you. Right. So I was like, David and I will switch.
Also, those horns
go with the horns.
Well, the horns are also at head level with those kids too. So
literally.
And the goats don't be like, oh, my bad, excuse me. They just like goats just go where they want to go. So if you got horns in the front, you just go where the horns are. And if you get smacked in the head, it's bone. It's gonna hurt.
Yes, and they were soups pushy. It was great. Yeah. So our first task was cleaning out the goat house. So we cleaned out all of the goat poop and pee from the straw and all of that. Yes, it was not, glamorous work, but it really wasn't that bad. Yeah. They do poop a lot, but it's not like it doesn't smell. It's fine. Yeah. Everything's chill.
I have cats. I'm used to it.
I almost wish they had not. Okay. Oh no, I take it back. I am glad that they filled the straw up while we were in there because the goats just came in, like you just said. They didn't give a shit. They're like, "Oh, you're cleaning up my stuff. Cool. I'm gonna eat now. Get out of my way."
Stand in the middle of it while you try to do it. Do it now, bitch.
Shoving me out of the way so that they could eat. And I'm like, I literally got stuck in a corner because this goat covered up the whole place in front of me and I couldn't move. Yeah. He's got horns. I'm not shoving him out of the way. I thought this was to push him.
Right.
So kind of had me cornered. But I have some videos because this is so funny to me. One of the goats, I have a video of them putting their nose in every one of the little straw. So the straw goes in this little corner area and it's got a piece of wood in front of it. And then it's got little holes, like little squares cut out of the wood so that the goat can stick their head in there and pull the straw out. And this one goat was very picky about which hole they wanted to eat from. And it stuck its head in a good 5 or 6 holes before it was this one smells good. And it started eating. I was like, what in the world? I've never known that a goat would be picky like that. And then the horned one came over and just went to town. Didn't give a shit. Just was any area I can get. I'm taking that straw out. And that's when I got stabbed.
Yeah, it goes like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Ooh, Sunny D.
They were so cute. So we cleaned out all of the goat stuff. And then we got to do some crazy manual labor stuff. I attempted. Listen, guys, I tried. And then I just handed the freaking shovel over. They had these like, how do we describe the big tube things?
So it is a big tube thing. It's probably about 3.5 feet tall. So it came like just like up my sternum. I think they're used for like water, putting down watering lines and like water pipes and stuff. But they're thick plastic, like ribbed. I don't know if corrugated is the right word for this.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's rubber, but it's not rubber.
It's very hard plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had these tubes that they wanted the goats to be able to go in and play.
Yeah.
But they would roll around in the grass, especially when the goat would get in there. Can you imagine poor the goat, like it's starting to roll and the goat's rolling, like he doesn't want to play that thing. So they were like, can you basically dig a hole in the ground so that we can kind of lay this thing in there so it doesn't roll anywhere? Like, how deep do you think you had to dig a hole?
Like how big did we dig that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand a few things about me if you haven't figured out already. One, I kind of like being in charge. Two, I have ADHD, and I have like a hyper focus, like spotting. It's a type of ADHD that loves like hyper focus and things that are like just spontaneous, which this whole thing was mostly, especially like the jobs we did. And I'm also type A. So I'm like kind of controlling. I'm type A. I love doing stuff and like work and getting like achieving like tasks. It's my shit. So we
dying.
I'm literally everyone's standing around. I'm like, all right, here's what we're gonna do, guys. We had this. I made sure the thing was centered. I was like, it's gotta be centered. And if it was space each side. Then we're trying to figure out how I know I gotta explain how we set this thing up because I was like all proud of myself. So you guys get to deal with it. And so we needed to like figure out where to dig. So we found there was a pile of sticks, like branches and stuff. So we went and found branches, and I had us outline where the pipe was. Then we rolled it off, right?
We made a frame
right.
of where we were going to dig.
Yeah, and then we rolled the thing out of the way, and then we took shovels, and we made an outline of around the frame.
Basically.
So you can move the sticks, and then when you dug, you just basically like dug out in the middle where the hole was. Yeah. So anyway, now to answer your question. We got about 3 to 6 inches deep with that hole.
Yeah.
Which is great because they had enough shovels, so we kind of dug around and we used a flat nose shovel to flatten it out. We rolled it in there and it sit perfect.
Oh, it was so good. I was like, the goats are gonna love it. They're gonna love it.
And then we filled it with dirt and put dirt around the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way it kind of weighs it down, and it also gives them like something soft to land on when they jump in and out of it or whatever. So super cute. I told them I can't wait till they post something on social of the goats playing in it because I was like, oh my God, it's adorable. Listen, I tried to help dig, but the ground was very difficult. Okay. And I'm a short person, and I'm just going to claim shortness right now. That's it. I'm strong. Whatever. Shut up, David. So after that, Carmen came over, loved it, thought it was the greatest thing. And then she kind of looked at us and said, there's another one. And we're like, it's okay, let's go. So we went over to the sheep area, and they have like a bigger kind of pasture area. Both of these places, both areas, the goat and the sheep area, have like play stuff for them to like climb on and just play on. And they both have bowling pins that are like attached to a rock so that they can like fight with it and play with it, but it won't ever fall down or break off or whatever. Freaking cute as can be.
Super cute.
So cute. So we went to the sheep area, and the second one we were like, oh man, is this one going to be as tough? And then came a powwow. We had to have a chit chat with like, God, there was probably 7 people assisting.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where the best location for this tunnel was for the sheep. We kept thinking of like, there was like 3 or 4 different locations where it might work out. And this is when the young young man, the little boy, came over and he gave us some stellar ideas. And in the end, he kind of just was like, let's just do it here. And we're like, yes, sir. All right, sounds good. But
The ground is softer and it's already marked out. Perfect.
yes, it was so much softer. It was so good. But Carmen was so impressed with all of us just like really giving a crap and not like just digging the hole and putting it in there. Like she was like, look at you guys like really thinking about it and like trying to make it the best it can be for the sheep. She was so impressed. So I just thought that was adorable. But we dug that hole. I didn't dig the hole because Carmen said, hey, do you want to brush some sheep while they dig the hole? And I'm like,
Fuck
yes.
yeah, dude.
That's the best sentence ever. Yeah, let's go. So I went over to the sheep. Listen, they're so adorable. They do have a little bit of an attitude sometimes. So I had to ask for consent on whether I could brush them because, consent is important. Everyone should ask. And I'm not going to just start brushing an animal because they may just turn around and bite me. So, like, I made sure they sniffed me, sniffed the brush, made sure everything was chill. Everybody was chill except for one little sheepy sheep, the spotted one, too. Man,
Oh
he
yeah, the
was
young
so
one.
cute. Oh, he was, I think it's because he was little, but he was laying down in the little sheep barn area where they sleep. And I went up to him and I had him sniff and I was like, you seem a little hesitant, but I'm going to try. Let's just see because I'm not real sure. And then she got up and walked away. She was like, no, thank you. Like with the most attitude, like looked back at me and everything. I'm like, all right,
You
cranky.
bitch.
So I brushed the other sheep. It feels bizarre. I will tell you that because it's like a steel brush and you're brushing like, wool. So I mean, it feels weird. Most of the sheep are really like kind of softer than most of sheep that you would see like out in the wild, obviously. But there was one that was very burly. And what did she, oh man, Carmen said something about him and I can't remember what the term was that she used, but he something about like he's a mess basically because he's a different kind of sheep, so he doesn't look as kept as the other ones.
Yeah. He also liked the goats. He thought he thought it was a goat.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He did when we first got there. That one sheep was in with the goats and they were like, he's always hung out with goats, so he just comes over here, but then he'll go in the sheep area too.
Yeah. They
What a
said
spoiled little man.
well, they said he comes over like to the fence and when he just kind of like paws at when he was like, I'm gonna go over there now, and they just open the gate, let him in. The other sheep don't care; they don't want to be with the goats.
No,
But that one's
but
like,
he
I'm
does.
also. He's like, I'm half goat. I'm partial.
I'm
goat.
half goat.
He's a goat ally. He's a goat ally. He likes being part. Yeah.
I hope he plays in one of those little tubes too, because he's gonna have one on his side too. But he felt really funky to brush, but it was truly one of the highlights was brushing sheep. And then because it was kind of a warm day and they obviously have a lot of wool on them, they were like standing underneath these fans, just cooling off, just standing there. I was like, oh, I just love you guys so much. They're so precious. I cleaned a lot of goat poop, some sheep poop, cleaned it all up.
Yeah.
Totally fine, didn't care. Also organized some farm utensils that were in the shed, basic like just farm chores, nothing crazy. But it was like things that obviously they needed done. They do so much every day for these animals that when they have a volunteer day and these many people can come out, they can knock all these chores out in no time.
Oh yeah.
We were done in just a few hours when there was like way more time scheduled for us to stay, but we just did so much in such a short time. It was fun. It didn't feel like manual labor. It didn't feel like I was cleaning poop or organizing or anything because I'm with animals and they're so sweet. And not to mention, I'm with a group of people that all think like I do. Everyone there is vegan, I would assume, or,
Right.
at least animal friendly as they can be. But it was just nice to know that when we were digging and we found a slug, and I go and I move the slug away, no one's going to make fun of me because
Yeah.
a lot of people would.
Yeah.
But everybody there is like, yeah, save the little slug. And I'm like, oh, I love you guys.
Like
It's
even
such instant
like
camaraderie.
had you not, you would have gotten more shit.
Oh my God. I'd be like, get out.
Like, what is wrong with you?
He was a big boy too.
Oh yeah, it was a grub. It was like a beetle grub or something. Yeah,
Grub, yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah, I was like,
It was so much fun. I would love to go back. It is kind of a far drive, but I think the majority of the sanctuaries in Georgia are pretty far drive for me, and
yeah,
it's worth it to go help them out for a little bit. Again, they do so much for these animals. It's the least we can do is volunteer. As I mentioned, the next volunteer day for Farm of the Free is November 19th from 11 to 3 p.m. You can donate, and I just saw this on their website. This is freaking cool. All donations are matched by a private donor.
oh, that's cool.
I love that.
I didn't see that. That's pretty cool.
I love it. So that's freaking amazing. So that just encourages you to donate because you're literally doubling it just automatically.
Right?
That's badass.
That's pretty good.
So love that. But there's also something else you can do. You can sponsor a fence post right outside of the sanctuary. There's a fence around the whole front, and there's these posts that help like kind of solidify the fence, and you get to put up like, you know, like drawings and artwork and sayings and things like that on them. And I think David and I are going to sponsor a fence post. Woo,
Yeah,
woo.
woo, woo.
Farm of the Free. So cute. Let's talk about the shop because oh my gosh. When I go to a sanctuary shop, I expect to see t-shirts and hats and, you know, magnets and stickers, which they do have.
Mm.
But they have like beautiful artwork, candles, wax melts, obviously all vegan versions. They have cool cups. They have some children's books. Like, excuse me, I think Self Pub children's book. And then they have a monthly membership where you get to name a baby chick. Killing me. I'm dying. I want to name a baby chick.
Yeah, it's like I was looking like I was like, oh, they got mugs all sold out.
I
Yeah,
know,
they have
right?
some-
They've got some really cute stuff.
They
I
really
was
do,
not
yeah.
expecting the candles and wax melts, really, truly, or the children's books. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What a cute little place.
Like I
And
said,
so
I
a lot
have
of
one of the
these little
hats.
gifts would be great for the holidays that are coming up.
Oh, yeah. So I have one of the hats. Actually, they're really because I've gotten hats from like places before, and it's like they're in a closet somewhere. I actually wear this hat. It's actually really well done. I'm surprised.
I didn't even realize it was one of their hats because it's not like screaming the brand, you know, it's very kind of not delicate. That's not the right
Yeah.
word. I don't know.
Yeah, well, their
I don't-
logo is
I
very
don't know the
simple. It's a
word.
black and white logo. It's FOTF.
It's nice. It's really
Yeah, it's very
nice. So
simple.
definitely check out their shop. If anything, you want to buy maybe a candle or something for someone for Christmas, and you can let them know that the proceeds also go to a sanctuary to save farm animals. Woohoo! So this is an amazing Georgia animal sanctuary. We are going to go to more, and obviously, we want to hear about some of your favorite animal sanctuaries. If we go on any vacations or go to any out of state veg fests or anything in the future, we might also look at some out of state sanctuaries. So please share like surrounding states to Georgia as well. Because we want to go to more. We want to help support, volunteer, and then come on the podcast and talk about them. Let them know. Everybody, go volunteer, go donate, go shop, all that fun stuff. Right, David?
Absolutely support. I mean, we need to make sure we support organizations like this.
Yes, especially because we
important.
want them to get more animals that are in need, that don't have anywhere else to go. We want this to be a place where they can live out their lives in happiness.
And safe.
So if you know of any other sanctuaries that we should go to, you can let us know by emailing us at theaveragevegans@gmail.com or messaging us on our social media, Facebook or Instagram at The Average Vegans. You can listen to this episode and every other episode on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. Make sure to leave us a review and recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, strangers, the delivery driver. Show notes, links, and more can be found at theaveragevegans.com. We want to hear all about your vegan story, your favorite vegan sanctuaries, all the stuffs. If you have any episode suggestions, we would love to hear that as well. But that is it for this week.
All right. Well, until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.